Ever wonder what it feels like to have your home ripped out from under you? That's where my story starts, on the sprawling Montana ranch my great-grandparents carved from nothing. I'm Clara, a third-generation rancher, and this land is my blood. But last spring, two strangers in slick suits showed up at my gate, waving an eviction notice like it was a victory flag. They claimed my family's ranch was improperly zoned and belonged to a shady development firm called Horizon Ventures. I smelled greed from a mile off. The suits, Karen and her husband Greg, were all smiles, but their eyes were cold. Karen, with her manicured nails and condescending tone, said, "This is just business, dear. You'll find another place." Greg chimed in, promising fair compensation, while clutching a contract that screamed scam. My gut churned. This wasn't just land, it was my father's legacy, where I scattered his ashes. I wasn't budging, but they had money, lawyers, and a forged deed that looked too real. I had a week to vacate or face court. Days blurred as I dug through old records, desperate to prove the ranch was mine. Karen's team sent daily reminders, intimidating letters, calls, even a goon who accidentally cut my fence, letting my cattle roam. I was one woman against a machine. Then, a twist. My old friend, Sam, a retired lawyer, showed up unannounced. He'd heard about my trouble through the grapevine and brought a file decades-old land surveys showing my family's claim predated Horizon's by a century. Sam's eyes twinkled as he said, "Let's turn their game around." Fueled by Sam's find, I remembered something else. My side gig. I'm not just a rancher, I am a federal land auditor, trained to spot fraud in property deals. Karen and Greg didn't know that. I started investigating Horizon Ventures, and the deeper I dug, the uglier it got. Their firm was a front, tied to offshore accounts and fake deeds across 3 states. They'd swindled others like me, banking on small-timers folding under pressure. My blood boiled, but I kept quiet, playing the overwhelmed cowgirl they expected. The showdown came at the county courthouse. Karen strutted in, oozing confidence, her lawyer tossing around jargon to scare me. They claimed my ranch was on unregulated federal land, and Horizon had acquired it legally. I let them talk, watching Karen's smirk grow. Then I stood, presenting my auditor's badge and a thick report. The room went silent. I exposed their forged deed, backed by Sam's surveys and my own federal audit, which linked Horizon to a criminal network. The judge's face darkened as I laid out how Karen and Greg had targeted vulnerable ranchers, falsifying records for profit. Karen's smugness cracked. She stammered, "This is a mistake." Greg tried to bolt, but deputies blocked the door. The judge didn't just throw out their case, ordered an investigation into Horizon. My ranch was safe and their empire was crumbling. As they were escorted out, Karen shot me a venomous glare, but I just tipped my hat. Justice felt sweeter than a Montana sunrise. That night, back on my porch, I watched the stars, my father's voice echoing in the wind. I'd fought for our land and won, but others weren't so lucky. Karen and Greg's scheme had ruined lives before mine, and I wondered how many more Karens were out there, preying on the defenseless. The feds later charged them with fraud, and their firm collapsed. They're facing years behind bars. Their wealth stripped away, a bitter end for their greed. What do you think? Did Karen and Greg get what they deserved? Or is there more to justice than punishment? Share your thoughts below.